where they were informed that they had violated U.S. laws. Despite the fact that the CCP was instructed not to meet Miles again and were given 48 hours to leave the United States, they did not comply. Liu contacted Miles and arranged to meet again the following day. Soon after their meeting, Liu hurriedly left for the airport. Upon their arrival at the airport, the FBI seized all of their electronic devices. The FBI also reached out to Miles to inquire about his situation. Due to the FBI's intervention, Miles's wife and daughter were able to remain in the United States. Unfortunately, Liu Yanping's departure did not mark the end of the CCP's activities. Another high-ranking CCP official, Sun Lijun, who was in Washington at the time, had a tactical conversation with Miles in yet another attempt to coerce Miles to return to China.
文贵兄啊，你还真的这次是误解我了。我来呢是美国司法部邀请的，主要就是来谈这个网络安全合作的。而且呢，我到了美国之后呢，已经跟他们谈了2轮了，谈的也都不错。你也可以问他们，在谈的当中，包括 FBI 也在，我只字未提光棍3个字。
He lied. He was in New York and building up his connections for a new plan, lobbying for Miles's deportation. Pras Michel, a former member of the popular American hip-hop group The Fugees, has been convicted of more than 10 crimes by the District Court of Columbia, Washington, D.C. He was engaged in illicit lobbying for the CCP with his personal attorney Higginbotham, who was also holding a position as a senior congressional affairs official at the DOJ. He not only participated in the many attempts to deport Miles, earning millions, but also assisted Joe Low in money laundering activities in the United States. On May 8, 2017, Joe Low, Pras Michel, and Elliot Broidy, Deputy Finance Chairman of the Republican National Committee at the time, flew to Shenzhen together, where they spent the entire day in discussions with Sun Lijun, the then Vice Minister of Public Security, who had been waiting for them at the Four Seasons Hotel. In June 2017, Elliot Broidy sought the assistance of RNC's Finance Chairman Stephen Wynn to facilitate the deportation of Miles. Due to Miles's visa nearing expiration at the time, Broidy hoped that Wynn could help prevent Miles from obtaining a new visa. Wynn personally relayed information about Miles during a private dinner with President Trump at the White House. Wynn later informed Broidy that the State Department was examining the matter. However, Trump ended up shelving the deportation of Miles. Broidy received millions of dollars for his lobbying efforts during this campaign, while Steve Wynn secured a license for a casino in Macau. To ensure Miles remained in deep water and posed no threat in the future, CCP plotted another scheme. On July 18, 2017, Miles and his family went on a cruise in the yacht called Lady May. Suddenly, the ship lost control. The captain found it impossible to steer the vessel in the intended direction. Approximately 100 meters away from Lady May, a coal barge vessel was anchored. The consequences of a collision is unimaginable. Miles and his family were just one drift away from death. Being equipped with a sophisticated onboard computer system, the ship ought not to have had a malfunction like this. It's almost as if someone else had control of the ship. On September 6, 2017, Miles submitted a political asylum application to the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The CCP, as expected, attempted to obstruct the submission of the asylum application. On September 12th, hackers affiliated with the CCP military launched an attack on the law firm representing Miles in his asylum case. They compromised all network devices and machines and seized numerous pieces of information related to Miles. Despite everything that had happened, Miles's efforts to counter the Chinese Communist Party persisted. By this time, Miles had already gained significant influence. October 2017, Miles was invited to give a speech at the Hudson Institute, a U.S. think tank based in Washington, D.C., to disclose more information about high-ranking CCP officials and their ties to Hainan Airlines. The speech was scheduled on October 4th. However, just a day before the event, Miles was informed that the speech had been postponed, that is, effectively canceled. The organizers offered different explanations for the cancellation multiple times, but eventually admitted it was because of threats from within the Chinese Communist Party. The day after his speech was canceled, Miles opted to hold a press conference at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., where he officially unveiled intelligence regarding corruption within the Wang Xishan family and Hainan Airlines. He also revealed the CCP's big plan to corrupt the free world by using media, money, sexual bribery, and fomenting unrest in the United States. Miles sounded a worldwide alarm about the CCP emerging as a global concern affecting everyone. However, Miles's message was not embraced or adopted by the mainstream media in the United States. Instead, extensive negative coverage in American media outlets led to widespread bias against Miles. His Twitter account was permanently suspended on August 17, 2018.
Is there any pressure from the Chinese government to block his account?
No, Senator. We reviewed a report on that account and analyzed it through regular channels using our regular procedures. The blocking was not of the account in its entirety, but I believe was of specific posts that violated our policy.
So you can testify today that you did not come under pressure from the Chinese government or any of its representatives or people working for them to block his account or to block whatever it is you blocked.
I want to make sure I'm being precise and clear. We did receive a report from representatives of the Chinese government about the account. We analyzed that report as we would any other.
Despite attempts to silence him, Miles's voice echoes, unaffected by the closure of social media accounts and rejection by mainstream journalism. Miles isn't fighting alone. He's supported by millions of Zhanyo, which means the fellow fighters, who have forged a formidable alliance. On June 4th, 2020, the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square incident, Miles embarked aboard the yacht Lady May to the mouth of the Hudson River with the Statue of Liberty in the backdrop. Here, they announced to the world the establishment of the new federal state of China.
我用鲜血，我们要在这个世界上用我的鲜血来捍卫我们追求的法治、自由、有尊严、有体面的中国。
This marked the realization of a long-held dream for every Zhanyo, the fellow fighters. They finally had their own alliance, the new federal state of China. Meanwhile, those who deal with the devil have had their fate sealed with a price tag. On January 27, 2018, following an article in the Wall Street Journal about sexual harassment of female employees, Steve Wynn announced his resignation as the finance chairman of the RNC. On May 17, 2022, Wynn was sued by the Department of Justice for violating federal laws by engaging in illegal lobbying and failing to register as a foreign agent. On April 13, 2018, the Wall Street Journal would also uncover another scandal involving Elliot Broidy, the vice chairman of the RNC. He was accused of paying $1.6 million in hush money to a model for an abortion. Consequently, Broidy resigned from his position. On October 6, 2020, federal prosecutors charged Broidy with acting as an unregistered foreign agent, aiding the CCP in lobbying the White House to repatriate Miles. He later confessed to his crimes in a plea deal, but was pardoned by the president. Now, the fate of the CCP officials, Liu Yanping, Sun Lijun, and Fu Zhenghua, have also come to a deserving end due to the escalated power struggles. Still, soldiers march because the battle continues. The CCP imposed a fine of nearly $13 billion for alleged coercion in 2018. They also seized $5 billion in Hong Kong assets belonging to Miles and his family. representing the largest, most abusive monetary penalty ever imposed in China. The storm continues to churn toward Miles and his anti-CCP global endeavors. That's a story for another time.